This is Jeremiah chapter 5, verse. I'll start up top and I'll get to the point in verse 5. This is Jeremiah 5:1. Run ye to and fro to the streets of Jerusalem, and see now and know, and seek in the broad places thereof. Right? That's what we do. Come unto the highways and the byways, in the chief place of concourse. You know? Not just going to your family or speaking to people at your job. You know, isolating yourself. No, you have to get out there, man. That's what it means to go out there. When you go and hustle, you go out and put in work. You're going out to in the streets. All right, you're being faced with the elements. You're putting yourself out there on the line. You're not staying, you know, with sitting on your hands or putting your hands in your bosom, folding your hands, and you know you're under the spirit of slumber and slothfulness. You ain't gonna get nothing out of that, man. It says, if you can find a man, if there be any that executed judgment, that seek the truth, and I will pardon it. That's right. Not everybody's seeking the truth. You got a lot of people that are full of shit, man. They ain't about the truth. All right? They're not about the truth. When you come into this thing, you start understanding a lot of people are full of shit. They're a bunch of liars and deceivers and dissimulators. Fakes, man. They ain't about the Lord. Okay? They're just proud, and whatever little knowledge they have, they're puffed up. Or they may think something highly of themselves, but really they're nothing, man. And though they say, the Lord liveth, surely they swear falsely. You see? Because it's like the Lord said, they honor me with their lips, but their heart is far from me, man. Their mind frame, it ain't on the Lord. They're less than part-time on the Lord, man. The Lord said, you gotta love the Lord with all thy heart, might, and strength, and soul. Okay, you gotta put you gotta put forth your whole self, man, when you come to the Lord, man. That's a complete sacrifice. Not being partial. It says, Jeremiah 5:3. O Lord, are not thine eyes upon the truth? Thou hast stricken them, but they have not grieved. Thou hast consumed them, but they have refused to receive correction. They have made their faces harder than flint, or harder than a rock. They have refused to return. Therefore I said, surely these are poor. They are foolish, for they know not the way of Yahweh, nor the judgment of their power. I will get me unto the great men, and I will speak unto them. So that's who we need to be speaking to, the great men, which are who? The elect, man. Those are those great men. Those are those men, the men of renown, man. That are to be honored, respected. Not everybody else. Even though in Romans 13 it says, love working no ill towards his neighbor. Of course we're gonna have that, because we ain't gonna just go and go all out being wicked, you know, to the enemy. No. But it matters more to the elect, the household of faith, especially the household of faith, not everybody else. And you have to make a choice, man. It's either you're gonna choose your mom and your dad, your kids, your wife, over a brother, or you're gonna choose your mom, your dad, your wife, your kids over Yahweh Shai, the truth. You really got to think about that, man. You really got to think about that. Do you hate in the sense that you dislike these individuals more than the other? Because the Lord said you can't have two masters, man. You can't worship the Yahweh and Mammon, man. Mammon is the treasures of life, right? Let me bring it out just to make sure. Mammon. Cannot serve God and Mammon, man. You gotta choose one. The outline of biblical usage, or you know what, the root etymology of Aramaic origin for that word is, it says here in parentheses, confidence that is wealth personified. Okay, so your family could be your wealth, man. You know, that's a blessing. We know that you have children, you have a big family, that is a form of wealth. Okay, that's a form of posterity. So it says confidence that is wealth or personified. The outline of biblical usage says mammon, treasure, riches, where it is personified and opposed to the Most High. Because your family, your wife, your kids, they could be as that. That could be your downfall. That could be our downfall, man. It says the Strong's definitions says mammonus, that is avarice. Mammon, avarice is to be like overly abundantly, you know, to have overabundance. Extreme greed for wealth or material gain. Greed. That's right, man. I mean, you want it all. You know, you want it all. You want your cake and eat it too. You know. Let me get this account real quick. Let me finish this. Jeremiah 5:5. I will get unto me great men and speak unto them, for they have known the way of the Lord, and their judgment and the judgment of their power. But these have altogether broken the yoke and burst the bonds. God. So let's go over here to. Let me get that one. This is Matthew chapter 19, verse 16. And behold, one came and said unto him, Good master, what good thing shall I do, that I may have eternal life? And he said unto him, Why callest thou me good? There is none good but one, that is Yahweh. But if thou wilt enter into life, keep the commandments. He said unto him, which Yahweh said, Thou shalt do no murder, thou shalt not commit adultery, thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not bear false witness, honor thy father and thy mother, and thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. The young man said unto him, All these things have I kept from my youth up, what lack I yet? Yahweh said unto him, If thou wilt be perfect, go and sell that thou hast, and give to the poor, and thou shalt have treasure in heaven, and come and follow me. Meaning that he had to risk it all, man. Everything. Right? So the Lord gave, he asked for an ultimatum. So the Lord gave it to him. He was like, well, I did all that. Well, you all right? You want to take it to another level? All right, this is what you got to do. But the young man heard that saying, he went away sorrowful, for he had great possessions. See? That's why when you come into this thing, man, you got to really know what you're getting yourself into. This ain't just coming out here speaking words or putting on an act because you had a little sensation in your belly. You had butterflies. You know, like a girl when she likes you and you know she sees you, she starts smiling and shit. Gets the butterflies in her. You know? Nah, man. This is a for real thing. This is a thing this is a career. This is a profession that you want to succeed in. Like it was told unto Joshua, man. A mission. This is a mission, man. Being a good soldier for Yahweh Shah HaMashiach, not being entangled with the affairs of this life. You know? This ain't something out here that you're just, like I said, like brothers always say, people come out for different reasons, man. There's always a motive. Now for everybody, the elect, their job is to do the work, man. It's to go all the way, to fulfill the spectrum of the whole thing, man. Not just a little bit here, a little bit there, choosing what they want to do, how they want to go. It's just like the brothers like Paul, Yahushua, we know what they went through, what they were faced with. Shit, I've been through things, man. I had an individual where he wanted to hit me with this truck. The brother that used to be with me can attest to that, man. We're on the highways and the byways over there on Martin Luther King Street where we used to preach. We're going in the scriptures, saying what we had to say, whether it be about Esau, the 2/3, breaking the law, statutes, commandments, whatever it was. I remember that truck pulling up right in front of us, because right across the street was the grocery store and stuff like that, and he stood right there, staring at us. We were just speaking. We were facing like the way I'm facing right now, towards that direction, speaking to the people when they coming in and out of the store. And he turned off, to his left, right? Yeah, to his left this way. So he stopped in the middle of the street and put it in reverse and hauled ass towards us, man. And boom, it came up on the curb. And as soon as that happened, man, my instinct was to run towards that truck, because if it wasn't for the brother putting his hand on my shoulder, I would have probably ended up in the back of that man's bed, the bed of the truck. That's how close he was to us when he did that, man. Or having people drive by and doing this mark like this with their finger across their throat, pointing at me, looking at me, or putting out a gun, or not a gun, but doing that shit with their gesture, with their hand, like they're gonna shoot me. Being put in jail, by that officer that put me in jail, that knew me when I was in elementary, man. He was my DARE teacher, or the DARE officer. And 7 years later, he killed himself. Took his life in his own office right here at the police department, man. 7 years later, represent completion. And it's funny because as soon as everything popped off over here on Martin Luther King Street, the Spirit told me to come down here to right back downtown, where they told me I couldn't come back out and preach. And many other things. But that's part of us, hazarding our lives. And a lot of people can't do that. Losing friends, losing family. Having your children taken away from you. Losing jobs. Because people recognize you. They'll eventually recognize you. And speak. And trying to find a way to get rid of you. But this man, he couldn't do it. He couldn't do it. That's something that we had to prepare our minds for. Let me get that one I said I was going to get in the book of Acts. This is Acts 14 and 22. Confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must through much tribulation into the kingdom of the Most High. So that's all we do, man. We exhort, we admonish, we rebuke. To the brotherhood, man. To continue in the faith. Hey, to know and understand that you're going to go through things, man. And when you go through them, don't be ashamed of it. Don't be ashamed if it concerneth thy soul. Glory in that. Because the Spirit of Yahushua resteth upon you, man. You got to understand that and know that. Believe in that. You know, that's part of getting rid of that old man and putting on the new man. You see? I'm going to read it again. Confirming the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith, and that we must through much tribulation into the kingdom of the Most High. There's no other way. You can't get up any other way. You can't at one time be doing the work and then lay down the plow and then expect to try to get back into the kingdom. It's never gonna work. The Lord, that's not the instruction or the deal the Lord made with us, man. That's not the vow that was made. Okay? That's you trying to come in a different way, man. This is John 10:1. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that entereth not by the door into the sheepfold, but climbeth up some other way, the same as a thief and a robber. That's right, because the Lord said, enter ye in at the straight gate, man. He is that straight gate. He is that front door you have to go through. And it's a difficult one. It's not an easy thing. Let me come back to that. Get that one. This is Matthew 7:13. Enter ye in at the straight gate, which is the same thing that I'm reading in John 10. Okay? For wide is the gate and broad is the way that leadeth to destruction, and many there be which go in thereat. Because straight is the gate, and narrow is the way which leadeth unto life, and few there be that find it. Okay? John 10:2. But he that entereth in by the door is a shepherd of the sheep, which is Yahweh Shai. To him the porter openeth, and the sheep hear his voice. And he calleth his own sheep by name and leadeth them out. Right, so we're going to go where that voice is telling us to go. Not where we decide to go, where we want to go. Okay? It says, and when he putteth forth his own sheep, he goeth before them, and the sheep follow him, for they know his voice. Okay? Because we know Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai, man. We don't know any other way. You know? It says, and a stranger will they not follow, but will flee from him, for they know not the voice of strangers. These other doctrines, these preachers and pastors that are out here, or these other camps. You know? Like I said many times in past time, my account, when I was stuck in between, GOCC and GMS, and the brother that was out in Colorado, like I said, I don't think he's even in it no more. I don't see him anymore. But way before this camp was out, the brothers that are in Denver, Colorado, way before those brothers were even out, you had another camp that was there. Well, that brother ended up rebuking me, man. You know? And ever since that day, you know, because, you know, we know that GOCC calls on, Ahia, right? And Yeshaya. So he was like, no, man, get away from that. This is where it's at. GMS, Great Millstone, Yahweh Shai, Yahweh B'Shem Yahweh Shai. Yahweh at the time was Yahweh and Yahweh Shai. You know? So that was it. Alright? And it says, this parable spake Yahweh Shai to them, but they understood not what things they were which he spake unto them. Then said Yahweh Shai unto them again, verily, verily, I say unto you, I am the door of the sheep. All that ever came before me are thieves and robbers, but the sheep did not hear them. I am the door, but by me, if any man enter in, he shall be saved, and shall go in and out and find pasture. That's right. If you go in through Yahweh Shai, you're gonna be saved, man. If you try to bypass him, you're not gonna be saved. And for you to go through Yahweh Shai is that you have to go through things. You have to go according to the script. You know? We know that it's not enough just doing the law. You gotta follow, you gotta do the work. It's there, black and white, man. How are you gonna show me your faith? By just speaking? Or are you gonna be doing things? Having action? And it's not our job to be showing brothers or going on camera to really be doing that. We're just doing this to draw in the elect. You brothers understand what I'm saying? I ain't gotta prove nothing to no man like that. As far as like, it's only between us and the Heavenly Father. But eventually, when you're amongst brothers or friends, or just being in the world, you're amongst people in the world, your friends are gonna see. You're gonna see your friends, their actions, and you're gonna be like, all right, yeah, he is a friend. You understand what I'm saying? But you got some people that are trying to be man pleasers. You know, overachievers and trying to go that extra mile and show that they're worthy and this, that, and the third. No, man, you ain't got to do all that. You know, if your brothers understand what I'm saying, you should know where I'm coming from. If not, oh well. All right, because the scriptures say something about on the lines, those that are suspected thee have no part with them. Okay. And like Paul wasn't accepted amongst his countrymen. But Paul can't tell him, man, look at the work that I've done. Look at everything that I've been through. You know, what more do you want for it to be known to you that I am a man of the Lord. I am chosen, handpicked by Yahweh B'Shem Yahushua. You know, that's where all that jealousy and envy comes in, man. All that jealousy and envy, you know, or you think that you should be in that brother's lot. That brother shouldn't be there. He should be on the side holding the sign. He shouldn't be speaking. You know? This is John 10:10. The thief cometh not but for to steal, to kill, and destroy. I am come that they might have life, and that they might have it more abundantly. I am the good shepherd. The good shepherd giveth his life for the sheep. That's right. So Yahweh Shai, he's the one that fulfilled that, man. And guess what? We have to do that for one another. We're gonna have to do it, man. There's no what's it called? Debating that. You know? It's just going back to the other brother that used to be with me. He could tell brothers. There's been many times where I put myself in front of him in certain situations that he was being dealt with. But I put myself in front of him to protect him. Okay? I even did it one time when Kazak was here. Kazak and the brother, the Kazak came down and visited, and the brother ended up getting into something with his next door neighbor, and I ended up getting in the middle, and I told that man, I was like, hey man, just go inside. Told the brothers to chill. And I'm the type of dude that I'm quick to fight. I'll fight I'll stand up to anybody. But during that time, even up to this very time, that was the beginning of that time. A little bit before Kazak came, I was already telling myself I need to start working on my anger, man. Working on how I respond and not be so quick. Okay, not many people can do that. Not many people can put themselves in front of somebody else and be like, hey man, they're gonna let most people though stand on the side and just watch that person and watch this person get into it. Not many people can do that. Put themselves in front of somebody else and be like, hey man, you need to fall back or fight in the place of that brother or that friend. Not many people can do that, man. You know? I remember this one time, and I'm not saying anything. I don't know. The Lord can change my heart, and that when it gets to that time, I don't know. Only the Lord knows. I'm just telling you from my experience, my examples. I remember this one time in the world. I was still in the world, but this is before coming into the truth, and it was, me and one of my best friends, or my best friend that was in the world, and which is no longer my best friend anymore. We separated. You know what I'm saying? The Lord separated that. He was one of the last ones hanging with that. We were still good while I was in the truth, but the Lord was severed that. For whatever reasons, He severed that. I more or less know why. He was proud as hell, real arrogant, even though he would be humble in my presence, but I could still see it. And there was this one night we went out, and the brother, I don't know, we were laughing. The bar was over, we were laughing, this, that, and the third, and some dude thought we were laughing at him, and we weren't. We're actually laughing at his girl because she fell, and we all looked. We're like, oh shit! And then we said something. We said this certain word, and we were tripping out on it. So he started mouthing off. So we stepped up. We're like, what? But me and my best friend, he stepped up. I got in his place. He got in my place. He got in front of me, and we kept like zigzagging each other. But not many people can do that. Our other friend that was there, he stayed in the very back. He didn't even come out to the street. But I'm just giving you brothers an example. I'm not trying to glorify that kind of stuff. I'm just giving you brothers an example of how it has to be. A lot of people have a certain a perspective of me. You people don't really know me, man. And I don't need to be shown or for you people to know me. Okay? When the day comes, the Lord's going to reveal it. The Lord's going to reveal all that. We're going to see what every man was really what every man was made of. Right? But I'm just bringing out an example. I ain't trying to glorify or nothing like that, or just so you brothers can get a gist of where I'm coming from. And out of all like the people that I've ever experienced in my life, and I don't doubt the brothers, but all the people in my life, that one man that was my best friend in the world, he was one of the ones that would do the same thing that I would do. He put himself in the line of fire, or he sacrificed himself, for his friend. And that's how we should be. But using discretion, using proper judgment. Because when I started coming to the understanding, I started telling him, I was like, look, man, I was like, you're my homeboy, you're my best friend, everything, I love you. I was like, but I'm not going to be throwing myself out there like that no more. Because I knew he wasn't in the truth, man. He wasn't in the truth, and I was commanded to use, proper judgment and discretion, and to be wise. And I wasn't trying to be like that. But when it comes to the brotherhood, it's the same thing that applies. But we have to be quick in it. You understand? You gotta be quick in it. You can't just always just be on the sideline or there. We know that authority or rebuke will shut somebody down. But for the sake of arguing, or for the sake of appearance sake, being seen, because of what people want to talk, people want to say shit, or label us brothers because we're GMS. No, man, we have that right to do that, man. To rebuke with all authority. This is 2 Corinthians 3 and 10. according to the grace of the Most High, which is given unto me, as a wise master builder, I have laid the foundation, and another buildeth thereon. But let every man take heed how he buildeth thereupon. For other foundation can no man lay than that is laid, which is Yahushua Mashiach, because Yahushua, he is that cornerstone. Right? Let's see where that one is. Haven't got that one out in a very long time, man. This is Ephesians 2:20. It says, I'll start at verse 19. Now therefore you are no more strangers and foreigners, but fellow citizens with the saints, and of the household of the Most High, and are built upon the foundation of the apostles and prophets, Yahushua Mashiach himself being the chief cornerstone. And that's right, Yahushua is the chief cornerstone. So he's the one that's the beginning of that foundation. In whom all the building fitly framed together groweth unto an holy temple in the Lord, in whom ye also are builded together for an habitation of the Most High through the Spirit. That's right. So going back to 1 Corinthians 3:11, for other foundation can no man lay than that is laid, which is Yahushua Mashiach. Now if any man build upon this foundation gold, silver, precious stone, wood, hay, or stubble, every man's work shall be made manifest, to see, that's right, to see what we're all made of. To see if we're worthy or capable of laying down our life, or putting ourselves in that situation, or telling somebody that's going to try to harm another brother, hey man, you need to leave, get back the fuck up, get out of here. You know? Or if you potentially doing something like that could mean that you're put into an altercation, or you're put in jail. You know? Scriptures talk about not knowing your left or right hand, what they do, right? You know? You can't just use that scripture to be using about giving gifts or money. It applies in all things of life. You know? Don't think about it. Know that when it comes down to it, you gotta react quick. Not many men are gonna be able to do it, man. Not many men are gonna be able to be martyrs. Yahweh Shem Yahushua, true witness in the face of death, man. Okay, they're going to be worried about their own life. It's like when Peter denied Yahushua 3 times, man. We don't want to be that. We don't want to be like Peter denying Yahushua. But eventually they all ended up dying, man.